Everyone else fades into background noise, but you're the only voice my heart listens to, even in the darkest moments. I've met countless fays, but none of them ever stayed. Only you carved a place in me no one can replace. Everyone else is temporary chaos, but you're the quiet truth my soul keeps returning to, no matter how far I wander. I tried to distract myself with other people, other places, other feelings, but nothing ever compares to the gravity you hold. Everyone else feels like a moment, but you feel like a lifetime. I'm still learning how to hold. There are infinite choices in this world, but somehow my heart keeps choosing you, even when I tell it not to. Everyone else is noise, meaningless echoes, but you are the one sound I can't silence, even when I try. I thought I could move on, that someone else could fill the space you left, but they never came close, not even for a second. Everyone else is just a passing distraction, but you are the only presence that settles deeply into my bones. I look at other people and feel nothing, but when my eyes meet yours, everything in me wakes up violently. Everyone else is background scenery, but you are the entire story my heart insists on telling. I've tried to outgrow you, to forget you, to rewrite chapters without you. But the truth is, you're the ink in every page. Everyone else holds pieces of me, but you're the only one who ever held my whole heart without trying. No matter who I talk to, who I pretend to care about, your name is the only one that echoes after the conversation ends. Everyone else is fleeting comfort, but you are the storm and the shelter all at once. I've been surrounded by people, yet somehow I've never felt more alone than when you're not near me. Everyone else feels like a placeholder, but you feel like the destiny I keep circling back to. I could stand in a crowded room and still only search for your face, because nothing compares to the way you look at me. Everyone else tries to impress me, but you're the only one who ever touched me without even trying. I thought I needed attention from others, but the truth is, I only ever wanted it from you. Everyone else is replaceable, but you're the one soul my heart refuses to let go of, no matter how much it hurts. I entertained distractions, hoping they'd erase you, but all they did was remind me that you're irreplaceable. Everyone else is just a temporary whisper, but you are the constant heartbeat I feel even in silence. I've met so many people, but none of them carried the weight your name holds inside my chest. Everyone else feels like a trial run, but you feel like the choice I'd make in every lifetime. I tried opening my heart again, but every time I did, it still called out for you. Everyone else tries to fill the emptiness, but only your presence feels like home. I don't want anyone else's attention, affection, or touch. None of it echoes the way yours does. Everyone else eventually leaves, but my heart still waits for you like it never learned how to stop. People come and go, but your memory lingers like it's tattooed onto my soul. Everyone else feels like a distraction from the truth. And the truth is, it's always been you. I smiled for others, laughed for others, pretended for others, but every real feeling was always tied to you. Everyone else feels temporary, but every part of me recognizes you as something permanent. I thought maybe someone else could make me forget, but all they did was remind me of everything I lost with you. Everyone else is forgettable, but not you. Your presence left fingerprints on my heart that won't wash off. I never cared about losing people, but the thought of losing you still shakes me. Everyone else feels like a lesson, but you feel like the reason I even learned to feel at all. I tried distracting myself with noise, but your silence was louder than anything I heard. Everyone else has limits, boundaries, walls, but you're the only one I allowed inside the parts of me I hide. You became the standard, the comparison, the measure, and everyone else simply couldn't reach you. Everyone else feels like a mistake. I'll forget, but you feel like the one truth I'll remember forever. I've been touched by others, yet none of them ever reached me the way you did with a single glance. Everyone else feels like a detour, but you are the direction my soul insists on following. I tried convincing myself you were just another person, but my heart refused to believe that lie. Everyone else might admire me, but your approval is the one thing I still crave without understanding why. I let others in, but none of them ever stayed the way your presence still lingers around me. Everyone else feels like noise, but you're the melody I can't stop replaying. I built walls to keep the world out, but somehow you walked through them like they weren't even there. Everyone else feels like a temporary chapter, but you're the one story I keep rereading because it still feels unfinished. I entertained conversations with others, but none of them could touch the parts of me you effortlessly reached. Everyone else feels like a momentary spark, but you are the wildfire that changed everything inside me. I met people who tried to stay, but none of them ever felt like the one place my soul belonged. Except you. Everyone else is predictable, but you remain the mystery I never get tired of solving. I pretended others mattered, but deep down, you were always the one name burning beneath every lie. Everyone else feels shallow, but with you, every emotion had unimaginable depth. People tried to love me, but none of them understood me the way you did without trying. Everyone else feels replaceable, but you're the reason I stopped believing in replacements. I tried to open my heart again, but it kept whispering your name in the dark. Everyone else feels like a forgotten conversation, but every word from you still echoes inside me. I let others in, but they never reached the place where you still quietly live. Everyone else is a distraction, but you're the reason distraction never worked. I sat with people who tried to comfort me, yet only thoughts of you ever truly calmed my soul. Everyone else feels temporary, but you are the lingering presence I still feel even when you're gone. I searched for the same connection in other faces, but none of them carried your fire. Everyone else feels like noise, but your silence shakes me more than any words. I tried to unlove you, but my heart clung to the ache because it still feels like home. Everyone else feels like practice, but you were always the real thing I wasn't ready for. I wanted someone else to replace you, but I realized replacing you was never an option. Everyone else feels unfinished, but you were the one ending I never wanted to reach. I let myself be distracted, but every distraction reminded me I still belonged to you. Everyone else is just another passing face, but you're the one fact I still search for in every crowd. I thought time would soften your memory, but it only sharpened it into something unforgettable. Everyone else feels like a faded dream, but you remain the one I still wake up missing. I tried loving others softly, but you were the one love that burned so fiercely I never recovered. Everyone else feels like a rerun, but you were the plot twist I never saw coming. I laughed with others, but none of them heard the parts of me that only your presence awakened. Everyone else tried to fit into my life, but you were the only one my soul tried to fit around. I moved on physically, but emotionally, I'm still standing where you left me. Everyone else feels like a blank page, but you're the entire book I still can't close. I let people touch me, but none of them ever touched my spirit the way you did. Everyone else feels safe, but you were the dangerous truth I couldn't resist. I kept giving my time to others, but my heart was still living in the moments I had with you. Everyone else tries to impress me, but you impressed me simply by being yourself. I tried to make new memories, but all of them felt like shadows compared to the ones with you. Everyone else feels ordinary, but you were the rare kind of soul that changes everything. I listened to other voices, but yours is the only one I still replay when the world gets quiet. Everyone else feels like a temporary comfort, but you were the one pain I still choose to remember. I tried to distract myself with chaos, but the only name my heart whispered through the noise was yours. Everyone else feels like a passing season, but you were the storm that rewrote my landscape. I thought distance would save me from feeling you, but it only made the ache louder. Everyone else is easy to forget, but forgetting you feels impossible, even when I beg myself to. I felt warmth from others, but you were the only fire that left scars I learned to adore. Everyone else feels like an echo, but you were the voice that made my heart vibrate. I tried falling for someone new, but my heart refused to land anywhere but back on you. Everyone else is just a familiar story, but you were the beginning of everything unfamiliar and breathtaking. I kept myself busy, but in the quiet moments, you were always the thought waiting for me. Everyone else feels distant, but you're the only one who ever felt painfully close. I thought I needed attention, but I realized I only ever craved yours. Everyone else tried to love me in pieces, but you loved me like you saw the entire map of my soul. I tried to forget the way you looked at me, but it still burns behind my eyes. Everyone else feels incomplete, but you were the whole story disguised as a person. I let others comfort me, but none of them healed the wounds you left behind.